Hey guys, Russ Porter here. We're talking Denver real estate market and really want to clue you in as we start to head into the fall, looking at this being September 8th. We're really going to start seeing some trends that you can take advantage of. One thing is this information you have access to. We can get you the link to it, and like very few people have access to this information. It can really dial you in on exactly what you're looking for. We can get as specific as going to your zip code or your neighborhood or your area, and so, if you really want to know what's happening in the Denver real estate market, please take advantage of this tool. And like I said, almost nobody has access to this. Most real estate agents don't even have access to this. This right here is our sold price, sold properties. So we're seeing somewhere around 1,000 homes has kind of been the trend every month as we've gone through late spring all the way through the summer. And we're sitting on the 8th day of September, and we got 750 homes. Very likely that we're going to reach that number again. So the market is staying still very active. The question is what is the feel in the market? As you can see here, prices stayed pretty similar. 600, 625 is what we're seeing a lot. We're even seeing that here in September. We're right about 610,000. This is days on market for sold properties. This is where you're going to start to really get a sense of what is the feel of the real estate market. As we see here, we got through June, and it was just under 3 weeks days on market for those that are selling. The median days on market once we hit July was over 3 weeks, and it's only gone up from there. And it's going to continue to trend this way. Our normal real estate cycle usually gets longer whenever we get towards the end of the year for weather reasons, for holidays, all of those different things. But if you're a buyer, you could definitely take advantage of this because most sellers are coming out of this field where they're seeing things move in 2 or 3 weeks. Now it's going to take them over a month on average to sell. Therefore, they're going to start freaking out. Think about it. You're a seller. We really can play with those emotions whenever we're making offers. And then I'll show you right down here what is the median final list price. So we're seeing it right around 615, 625. You can see a lot of it is ending up there. But what percent of the list price are people getting offers submitted and accepted on? You can see here in the spring, it was 99%. It starts to tail down as we get to the back end of the summer. We get under 99%, and now we're trending at almost 98%. Now, this is 98% of list price, but here's the question is what's the final price compared to the list price? You can see here, once we get to June, that really starts to dive down, and we see it trend towards about 97%. We're actually under that right now with our numbers, 1 week into September. So what does this mean? It means that the average seller is taking about 3% off before they get an offer, and they're still getting maybe 1.5% less than what their final list price is. So you're talking about a 3 to 5% swing in where somebody starts off listing their home to where they're actually going to get a price. And a lot of that correlates directly to sellers are getting emotionally attached, and they're having to get out of their home 15 times to show their property, and they're not getting offers. It's going on for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then they're starting to get an offer, but people are able to offer a lot lower. So if you're a seller, you have to be really savvy and just know that this is the feel of the market. Just because we've got an extra week or 2 weeks on the market doesn't mean that we need to drop the price like crazy. The other thing is that whenever you're a buyer, you can really play with the feel of the market can slow down, and therefore you can be a lot stronger in your negotiation towards sellers. The other thing I would say is that we're seeing interest rates change. About 3 weeks ago, I started telling you guys about it. Whenever they started pricing for the upcoming Fed meeting, which is coming September 17th, this exact same thing happened last year. We saw interest rates get down to right about 6%. And then once the Fed made their move in September, we saw interest rates go back up. There's a lot of people that would say it's going to do the same thing. So I would say one of two things. One, if you're looking to purchase a home, be aware of that. Understand that obviously you make a good purchase for yourself. You don't make one based on getting 0.5% less in your interest rate, but just be aware of that, that if it's a good property and you like it and it can fit, it might be advantageous to move a little bit quicker than to wait towards the back end of September. For sellers, you're going to have more buyers coming to the market as this word gets out. And then for those of you that might need to refinance, if you have a 6.5% interest rate or higher, I think you really need to look into the numbers and see if refinancing makes sense to you. please let us know. We have a great connection we can get you in with. They can get that information turned around. That way you don't miss an opportunity. Now, are interest rates going to come down again? Oh, yeah, everything that goes up is going to come down. But how long will it be until they get under 6% again? Well, if history repeats itself, it's going to take 12 months. That's what we saw this year. So that's the Denver real estate market. That's what's happening in the market today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one.